We're here at the Fighting Spirit Film Festival, and we're lucky enough to have the organiser and co-founder of the Fighting Spirit Film Festival, Sue Cole.
Thank you.
How has this year gone so far?
Well, it's only our second day at the moment. We've had the Karate Kid 2 screening, and we're now doing the shorts. We just had our seminar, which is one of the first. It's the first time we've had a seminar, which is really good, and it seemed to have.
It went really well.
Yeah, that's great, and hopefully a lot of people get something from it, because a lot of the short filmmakers, we're hoping that they're going to make more films, maybe some feature films, and in the future we'd like to be able to play some of those, because one of the aims is we played the short film, and then now we have the feature, and that's what we're going to have later on tonight with Vengeance.
Very good indeed. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
You first found love for martial arts when you watched Karate Kid.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How have you got from watching the Karate Kid to putting on this festival? What's your journey through all that?
So as a little girl, I watched these movies, and one of them was the Karate Kid, and I really loved the whole fact that you've got this one. Mr. Miyagi is an Asian character, and as an Asian person myself, there aren't a lot of Asian faces on the cinema screen, and he happens to be cool. He's
lovable,
honourable, lovable. He's got a good sort of demeanour about him, and he's really inspiring. And he actually is the mentor to this young boy. And I also related to the young character as well, because he's a bit nerdy, and I'm a bit nerdy, and he's sort of still trying to find himself and gain confidence. And then there's that whole journey he takes of learning martial arts and having this father figure. So I found it really kind of fascinating, because you can learn a bit about the culture, but also martial arts is not just being a physical activity, it's like a philosophy and
discipline.
Yeah, a discipline, and I think for young people it's a really good way to focus the energy. I mean, there's so many things that you can do, but martial arts is a good thing that can help build your confidence and self-discipline as well as health. And if you apply some of those principles to your normal life, it can help you with so many different areas, because maybe when you first start your class, you don't know anything, and then a few weeks later you suddenly find you can do kicks and punches. You can then say, well, with a bit of hard work, I achieved that. And then if you apply that with another skill, like, oh, I've never done this before, but I did it in my martial arts, so maybe I can, it gives you confidence. So I really like that. Anyway, so waffling on, martial arts. I love martial arts. I started because of the Karate Kid, and did karate, and really fell in love with it, enjoyed it, carried on.
Is that your background, karate? Is it? Or
I started with karate,
well,
and then now I do Shaolin Kung Fu, and my teacher's Shaolin Temple in London, and that was in 1998 when he first came over, Shifu Yanzi. And I remember I'd seen the Shaolin monks on this big show at Royal Opera House, and I remember thinking, we're going to have to go to China to train with these guys. And then the next year he came over and opened a school, couldn't speak any English, and we were trying to copy him and just going, this is not going to happen. But over time we gradually managed to pick up stuff, and I realised that he knew his stuff. He kind of explained how a punch starts from your back foot, the energy travels through your foot, goes up through your knee, through your hip, and then the power generates. And I was like, no one went into detail about the punch like that before, and I was like, wow.
Oh, well,
yeah.
That's it, yeah, the knowledge of that.
Yeah, that was deep, and I thought, and I realised that from learning from him, before I'd done martial arts, I never thought if I could actually do something to actually defend myself, and I thought, this guy, I think I want to learn with him. So that's where that happened, and I still love the movies, and I realised every time I watched a movie with martial arts, and if you have days where you think, oh, I don't feel like training, but you watch a film, you go, I want to go train, like Ong Bak makes you want to go train, and Enter the Dragon makes you want to go and train, and Karate Kid makes me want to train as well. And I realised that people watching these films, a lot of people that I spoke to had started martial arts, maybe because of a family member, but also because of films.
That's why I started.
Yeah,
so.
And it's really powerful, and also it's great to have that community come in the cinema and watch them together, and people come out and they want to reenact the movements. It's just great. So yeah.
You've worked on many films so far. Well, you have. You've worked on Amber as well. I think that's coming out.
Yeah, David Newton got me to be in that.
Yeah.
So I met David Newton on Now You See Me Too, actually.
Right.
He's a professional stuntman as well as a director, and I was part of the stunt team. I'm not a professional stunt person, but I sometimes do stuff where they punch, kick, or throw me or whatever. And so there was a group of Asian people in that film. It was a fight scene in the Macau market. David Chung was in that as well. So was John Paul Lee, or Lai, Hung Dante, Fauzi was in it as well, Leon Suo as well, and some of those guys are here today. There's Karen Chu, she's one of the few Asian female stuntwomen on the stunt register in the UK. And some of those guys were making films, and I was talking to them thinking, well, where are you putting your films? And they said, well, they're on YouTube. I went, no, it's got to be on the cinema.
And this is how this started?
Sort of, yeah. Just having these short films and knowing that people were making them, and And I wanted to see like Karate Kid, and I wanted to see Drunken Master, which we had in the first festival. And we thought, let's put some of the short films with the feature films. People will pay to see the feature films, but maybe not the short films because they don't know who they are. But if you put them together, there's no risk. Maybe they like them, and then maybe as we get the name known.
I mean, look at Bay and all that with express delivery. I mean, how this helped that short film develop and everything. And it's won numerous awards.
Bo is an express delivery, and then we did the Accident Man screening in Birmingham, and Scott now has Bo in his next film. Benjamin,
right.
And you'll also see Bo's in everything actually. He's also in Amber, and he's also what else is he in? Vengeance tonight. Spoiler alert.
Obviously, there's so much talent around England now, so this sort of festival and that needs to be put on in order to showcase all this. I mean, without this, people wouldn't be able to reach these sort of films, and there is so much talent around.
But I would say without the talent, we wouldn't have a festival either.
Well, that's very true.
And the support that we get is really, for me, I feel when I come here, I'm sort of pleased that even if no one else turned up, I'm like, I can watch this film in the screen.
You feel extremely proud of what you've done.
But then when I look round and go, there's quite a lot of other people in here, I'm like, that's cool, you know.
How much interest it gets. It's such an overlooked. It's such an overlooked genre of film. Because people don't understand how much hard work or to a degree danger is in what they do. I mean, all the people now doing trick kicking and all that sort of stuff is it's evolving.
It is
well
definitely. I mean, because definitely Jackie Chan was. So you had your old school films where it was very much like a her, and then Jackie Chan brought in the environment and thought, I can pick up stuff and bounce off walls and that. And Sammo Hung did the same thing. And then Tony Jaa came in and brought in the hardcore element as well. And now I suppose CGI, you have the Matrix where they kind of brought in stuff, and you have your wire work. But every sort of new generation brings in a choreography change.
People now are not using wires or anything like that. I mean, I've watched it with Martial Club and all that sort of thing. I mean, what they do just looks above and beyond. It doesn't look like they should physically be able to do it. Which obviously these sort of films is for people with that talent is going to get showcased here. So what you do is brilliant, and it's pushing forward the talents and everything like that.
Well, we hope that like some of these guys that are in the short films, they will be known enough, developed enough and improved at their art that they will be our main feature attraction. So at the moment we can show Scott Adkins' film in Debt Collector, and people know Scott Adkins, they may not know what Debt Collector is, and they may not know some of the people in the film, but they'll come for Scott Adkins. And it's like if you go to a restaurant, you won't pay for something if you don't know what's in it. And very often these films, if people don't know who's in it, they're not going to take a chance to pay money. And to make films, you need money, and so people need to kind of pay. It's just a symbiotic relationship. If people aren't paying for the films, you're not seen as a box office draw, people won't invest in you, and then they won't take a risk with you. And people, when films are made, it is a business, so that people don't invest if they think they're going to lose money. They have to at least break even.
They've just touched on that in the seminar.
It is. I saw a seminar recently with this year actually with Viola Davis, and she did this amazing talk saying like it's show business. So if you keep buying tickets to see Spider-Man, they're going to keep making Spider-Man whatever. But if you take a chance, do a bit of research and have a look to see what these films are and go, I don't really know who these people are, but it sounds great and the script sounds interesting, and they've done some stuff that sounds interesting. Pay a little bit of money. If that can break even, then the investors and the people that put money in go, maybe we'll give it a chance because it sounds great, and you never know. All it takes is like some of these independent films, like The Raid, for example, totally kind of exceeded expectations, and it shows that these breakthroughs had a very minimal marketing campaign. It was very much word of mouth, and therefore
that was kind of the same as On Back as well. I think it was that just spread through. That just made its own path.
It was like a viral thing, and that's the thing about this genre. The community do talk to each other. When you come to the festival, you see pretty much everyone knows everyone, and if they don't, they know someone that does know someone, and we all can name several martial art or action actors, and they probably work together. I mean, Expendables is a great example of them all working together, and it's not that big a community really. But if people come together and work together, that helps raise the standard. And I love Jackie Chan, Jet Li, and Donnie Yen, but we need new talent coming through because some of these guys, it's taken a long time for them to get to that level where they are box office draws. A lot of them still are straight to DVD, and that's partly an issue of the genre being limited and how people see it.
Obviously piracy and stuff.
Piracy kills it. It's really damaging because if the distributors see that people are pirating it and there's no money coming back, they're not going to invest in it, and it's harder for festivals like us to get the rights to have a theatrical screening, because they're just going to say we're going to go straight to video on demand, and that's fine, but it's really magical to see these films on the big screen with a room of people hopefully aren't on their phones, they concentrate on it, and you might have people going, yeah, great move and that, but it's a different experience, and also, you know, people coming together, and some of the people that are involved in the film are supporting it now. If the community comes together like that and supports it, that will then help show other people and other elements of the sort of film processing chain that it's worth attention, because we know that the big blockbusters, they make money, and that's why they get money chucked at them. It's a relationship that happens.
Finally, what's next for the festival next year, or any other upcoming events or anything like that you can tell us about?
So we had the Birmingham event this year, and
I was there.
Thank you. It was really cool, actually.
It was really good.
And it was a trial, because we're aware that not everyone wants to come to London, because you know, London isn't the centre of the universe, but we really want people to see the films and try and, you know, meet people halfway. So we're going to do Birmingham again and have a look at some other areas. We've been invited to go to Hong Kong University to do a talk about the festival, and probably some Comic-Cons as well.
I was going to say, you've done MCM Comic-Con in Manchester, didn't you?
So that was really good timing, because it was before this, and we could showcase some of last year's short film winners. And then once we've got this year's winners, we can start trying to roll them out. We try and get them played at our partner festivals. So there's Iron Dragon Action TV in America. There's No Identity in Spain. Joaquin is here this year. Yeah. And some of the short films were played at Corte Sinici in Italy this year as well. Right. So it's the more people that can see the films, that's great, you know, for us, because like then it's helping to build the community. And we like working with other festivals to do that, because, you know, it's a win-win, in my opinion.
Well, I think what you're doing is extremely brilliant.
Thank you very much.
I find it highly entertaining.
Thank you, it's great. So, that's really good feedback, thank you.
And we will be back next year.
Great,
and
thank you.
some of the other events as well.
Good, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thanks
Cheers.
for calling.
Thank you.